guys. So today let's talk about one of the most common programs or ways to come to Canada, which is study. So Tom from GB, Global Bridge Immigration, would like to give us some information about the schools and studying in Canada.
Definitely. We can share some experience that we have. Currently, we have a partnership that allows us to bring students to schools, colleges, and universities across Canada, pretty much. We have certain limitations. Small provinces, territories, it's hard for us. Or even at this point, Quebec, because we focus more on English speaking schools and colleges.
Okay.
But what it's important to know, it's okay, you have no idea what you want to study. And you have decided, okay, this could be a good enter point to Canada. We have to investigate your background. So your work experience, your education background, even your language level is going to be important for us. So once we figure that out, we can start to select what would be the best options. So for example, if someone just finished high school, then we're going to try to find a college. If someone has, I don't know, a university degree, bachelor degree, then we're going to try to find something post-bachelor degree. Mm-hmm. Because we need to show why that person is taking that course. And mm-hmm. that makes sense. So it's not forbidden to study subjects that is not related to your background or your work experience in Canada. But how school experience is so connected to immigration, the agents tend to be a little bit picky to allow you or to give you the student permit. So in that case, when we know that a person first step to come to Canada and intends to stay later here, then we have to plan those kind of things better. So once you're taking a course that makes sense through the eyes of immigration, so you're gonna have a higher chance. So we have to figure out background, educational background, work experience, English level. So the first barrier that we have to overcome is language. So most of people, or they don't have the minimum requirement, then they have to start one step before the school. It is sometimes we have options directly with the school to take some English classes, and schools accept students conditionally and say, okay, I can take you for any course or the course that you choose, but you have to prove me that you're gonna learn or you're gonna achieve this level of English before you start the course. Then we have to check if the school is okay with that, then they can start schools. One thing, it's one advantage actually, the pandemic brought to us. It's like before, this English class should be taken here, physically in Canada. But now we have also an online option. So if a person has a plan and it's in preparation to come to Canada, this person can apply for school, get authorization for do English before start the school, and take the English path at their home. Mm-hmm. So spending way less instead to come to Canada, find a place to live. And this is another important thing. plan every step, and we're gonna help with that because we have experience, and you can we can help to plan and be as efficient as we can with that plan. So if a person has no English at all, probably is gonna have to start from a low level. What usually happens is someone has an average English level, but cannot demonstrate that through an English test. We can talk about English tests. We have now several English tests that are acceptable for schools. Every school has a different requirement. We tend to see like, okay, IELTS, it's a good one. So you say IELTS academic 6.5 to 7.5 for college, for example, as minimum requirement. And for universities, 7.5, 7 to 7.5. Usually for universities, higher.
Okay, so like you mentioned, schools require IELTS 6.5, 7.5 academic module.
Okay.
So this is not really a this is not really a low score. So how about them students that do not have good English abilities? Is there any way to like help them?
As I said before, that is a way we can help. It's trying to apply for a course with a college or university conditionally.
Okay.
So the acceptance is going to be conditional to achieve that level in English. There is two ways, or there is this English pathway, so they take this English course directly with the college or university, or with another company that we can arrange that too. So once the college or university is okay, so they give you the green light to take this other English course, not with them, they're going to accept that. The student can achieve and can start study at the college or university, the course they choose.
If I can add on to that, though,
Sure.
The student still has to pass at a certain level the prerequisite English program. So it's not just only taking the class; they need to pass at maybe 70%.
Yeah.
So
they have to prove that they achieve that level.
exactly. So not just anyone can apply for a study permit. They do need to realize they will be studying their program in English. So they need a certain level of English to be eligible in the first place.
Yeah.
But is there any like minimum level of English required to get into this like conditional acceptance?
Usually not.
It's usually
Usually
a placement test.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if their level is quite low, they'll be put into a program that's much longer. So if their level is much higher, they only have to take a short program and pass.
I think it's very important for applicants who are like not necessarily old, but still older than those high school graduates, or those young people that are in their first year or second year of university. Because for older people, it gets harder to improve their English. So this might be very big obstacle for them. But if they know that with low level of English, they can still have an option to come to Canada and study, I think that this will be very helpful for them.
There's also another option for English, related to English, whereby if the person did study in a country that's considered to speak English as a first language, or did a study program in English, it could count as being accepted as
Okay.
an acceptable level of English.
Okay.
So we had a client from Hong Kong, and for this particular study program, Hong Kong is not considered a country that speaks English primarily, but the person's study program that they did in Hong Kong did count as
Okay.
English study, so they didn't need to take an English test.
Okay. That's good.
So there is options. Even though if the person, the potential student has a low English level, there is still options. Most of students don't achieve 6.5, 7.5 on IELTS because, like you said, it's quite high. But there is other ways, so that we can try to find those English pathways and place them with schools that accept those pathways and move forward with their application. Of course, the language level, it's going to have a huge influence in the length of the course.
Okay, but so during this time that they are under those sort of conditional acceptance period, can they still study in Canada on a study permit? Or is there any some sort of limit? Because you just mentioned like it could be considerably lengthier than regular students. So are they like allowed to study and stay in Canada on a study permit?
Before it was, right? With the pandemic,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
So now the border is open again, and probably it's going to give us the option to apply for the visa, and they can come. The general rule is if you're studying just language, you don't even need a student visa if if course is not more than 6 months. But of course, we have to check other requirements to apply for this visa.
And back to what you mentioned in the beginning, I think that's also what people want to know too. So, like choosing a program, for their study, can it be anything? For example, like us, we've been working in immigration for such a long time, but my personal interest is in IT or VFX animation. Is it recommended, or is it okay to apply for a school and get their admission and getting the study permit?
I'm gonna let Craig explain better in details. What I can say is there is nothing on the legislation that prevents you to take any course.
Okay.
But for what we've seen, it just we need to put together the pieces in a way that the agent, the immigration agent, that's gonna check your application, that person can see why you're choosing that pathway. So once you have a good excuse or a good justification for change your work environment or what you are doing, that might work.
A good put together study plan.
Yeah, but you're gonna take a big risk, actually, to not be accepted, because they say, okay, you could take this course everywhere. Why you choose Canada? So once you start to answer those questions, why that course? Why in Canada? Why that would make sense in your career development, for example, then you're gonna have a chance.
Okay, so then I guess your job is there to guide the potential students, that this program would be suitable and you shouldn't have a problem with getting a study permit. But then if I come to you saying I want to do IT, then you're going to probably say no, because the rejection could be risky.
Right, and I would add to that, just on the last point you made, the true purpose of a study permit is to advance your career prospects after you graduate. It shouldn't be to immigrate.
Exactly.
So if someone puts in their study plan, they're studying in Canada to help them immigrate to Canada, that will probably result in a rejection. So similar to that, just to sort of repeat the same thing, if your background is in IT, you studied a previous diploma in IT, and it's one of your interests, and you continue IT, that would make sense to IRCC. They may question why you want to study in Canada if you can study the same program in your home country. Maybe you also want to have an option to work with international clients and you want to improve your English. You could use that as a reason to study in Canada to improve your English at the same time as your study. But if your background is IT and you want to study cooking or basket making or carpentry, carpentry is a useful skill, but it's not at all related to your background. So IRCC will question why carpentry, why in Canada. So it's possible to make it work, but you have to present a study plan that makes sense to IRCC to approve it.
Okay. Okay. So thank you for all the information.